Imagine two guys. One had straight A's, while the other is more like a C student. So the classic nerd versus class clown. Hey, I'm not just a class clown. Exactly. But here's the kicker. The C student actually seems to be doing better financially. Wait, you're saying he's out-earning me? And being smart isn't the ticket to wealth? Surprising, right? It's a common misconception, but making money actually isn't about how smart you are. Who's laughing now? We've all heard it. Do well in school and you'll have a successful life. But what if I told you that success, especially financial success, isn't always tied to being on the top of your class? I'd be shocked. I mean, isn't that the whole point of studying hard? And also, shouldn't smart people figure out how to make money? You'd think so, but there's more to financial success than just book knowledge. Sometimes it's about thinking outside the box, being street smart, or just finding your own unique path. So it's not all about getting good grades, it's about playing to your strengths. Well, he's actually right. Goddamn, but how do I do this? And is that all I need to know? Oh, that's definitely all there is to know. I got a lot to tell you, so why don't you take a seat? Okay. Huh? What? Well, let's dive into this. Alright, let's start with a surprising fact. Did you know that the majority of millionaires didn't graduate at the top of their class? Wait, what? But aren't they supposed to be the smartest? That's the common belief. But financial success isn't just about IQ, it's also a lot about EQ. Huh? What is that? EQ is about emotional intelligence. So understanding people and emotions is more important than acing a math test? Not always, but in many ways, yes, it is. Think about it. Business, at its core, is about relationships. If you can understand, empathize, and connect with others, you're much more likely to succeed. And if you ever tried starting your own business, you probably know how important it is to really understand your dream customer. Okay, I get that, but surely being smart has to have its own advantages, right? Absolutely, it does, and it's actually not irrelevant. We'll talk about that in a minute too. But essentially it's about leveraging that intelligence in the right areas. For instance, a genius might invent a groundbreaking product, but without the skills to market it or build a team around it, that product might never see the light of day. And again, if you don't understand your customers' desires and problems, you don't understand them in an emotional way, you can't connect to them. And therefore you can't market your groundbreaking product, which means that business is going to fail. So it's like having a supercar but not knowing how to drive it. Well, sort of. He's getting pretty good. And there's another twist. Sometimes what we perceive as dumb actions might actually be very strategic moves. Have you ever seen a celebrity doing seemingly very stupid shit only to gain massive attention and boost their brand? It might seem dumb, but it's a calculated move to capture the attention in today's noisy world. Attention is becoming more and more valuable nowadays. And attention, my friends, can be monetized. Oh, so it's like Aiden or Speed doing stupid shit like lighting fireworks in their home. Well, I'm not saying they're necessarily smart, but yes, I think that might be a strategic move. Maybe even a move they discussed with their entire social media team. Dumb stuff like that often gets attention and, well, makes money. Makes sense. So it's not about being the smartest, but being the most adaptable and strategic? Maybe even at the cost of perceived intelligence? That's it, yes. But we're getting too much into the extreme examples of influencers now. There's much more to all this. Have you ever heard of the paradox of choice? It's a concept that might just blow your mind. But let's dive into this in a moment. First, I want to talk about one real-life example that should prove to you that someone who wasn't traditionally smart can still make it big. And no, this time it's not about streaming or going viral. I'm intrigued. Tell me more. Let's talk about Mark Wahlberg. You mean the actor from Transformers and Departed? That's the one. Mark didn't have the easiest start. He dropped out of school at 14, was involved in drugs, grew up in a bad neighborhood, and even had to serve time in jail. Wait, seriously? But he's so successful now. Exactly. Mark's journey to success wasn't about academic smarts. It was about determination, adaptability, and hard work. He turned his life around, started a music career, and eventually got into acting. Today he's not just an actor, but also a successful music producer. So you're saying it's not just about book smarts? That's what I was trying to tell you. It's about recognizing opportunities, learning from mistakes, and having the grit to keep going even when things get tough. And maybe it's also a bit about luck too. Mark's story is a testament to the fact that where you start doesn't determine where you end up. And your academic success doesn't determine that either. At least definitely not completely. But there's more to this. Oh, what now? Let's dive into a concept that might surprise you. The paradox of choice. It's the idea that having too many choices can actually make us less happy and paralyzed in decision making. Think about it. Ever stood in front of a massive cereal aisle, unable to pick one? Or having to choose one ice cream flavor when there were 20 or 30 available? Oh yeah, every time. Exactly. Sometimes having a high IQ or being too smart can lead to that overthinking and overanalyzing every option you have, making it harder to make a decision. This can be a disadvantage in a fast-paced world we live in today. In a world where quick decisions are crucial. Maybe that's even why you can't stick to one career path, try something new for self-improvement every week, or never really dive deep into a side hustle. I mean, maybe it's also about a lack of commitment, discipline and patience, but the paradox of choice definitely is at play here. So sometimes it's better to just go with your gut? In many cases, yes. Trusting your instincts and not overcomplicating things can be a strength. Okay, interesting. But it sounds like being smart isn't actually helping you when it comes to financial success. Yeah, drop out! No, that's actually not true either. So maybe let's tie this all together. You might be wondering about the relationship between IQ and income. We somewhat addressed it here and there, but looking at the research, it actually does suggest that there is a positive correlation between IQ and income. That means higher IQ often leads to higher income as well. But it's not the only factor. Emotional intelligence, social skills and other factors play a huge role too. So being smart does pay off. It's just not as important as we think. You nailed it. You should just remember it's not the only path to success. And it might not even be the most important thing when it comes to money. And also, sometimes just feeling smarter than others can also be a trap. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with a low ability at a task overestimate their own ability. So thinking you're the smartest person in a room might actually mean you're not? Exactly. It's always good to stay humble and open to learning. Maybe you're not actually as smart as you think you are, and others aren't as stupid as you think they are. I guess that might be true. But what exactly should I do with all this knowledge? Now, I know we've discussed a lot today. I told you about the various factors that can lead to success. And there are plenty more I didn't even address in this video. But you're right, so maybe let's dive into some actionable steps that you can take to harness those elements. You too. Oh, I'm listening. First and foremost, invest time into developing your soft skills. These are often overlooked but can be the difference between a good leader and a great one, or a good entrepreneur and a great one. So things like communication, teamwork and adaptability, those are very important too. And being smart doesn't necessarily mean you mastered those skills. So attend workshops, read books or even just practice it in your daily interactions. And don't make being an introvert an excuse for not doing this. Introverts can and should still develop soft skills. And you know that. Okay. Also, don't underestimate the value of hands-on experience. It's something I didn't tell you earlier, but it might actually be one of the biggest things separating academic smarts, the nerds, and the successful people in the real world. Whether it's internships, part-time jobs, or just personal projects. Real-world experience can teach you very valuable lessons. So step out the classroom and into the field. That's what I always loved doing. That's the spirit. Experience often provides insights you can't get from a book. Also, your network can also be a goldmine of opportunities. Attend industry events, join clubs, workshops or organizations related to your field. And don't be afraid to reach out to professionals you admire. Again, something social, so it's all about making connections? Somewhat. Connections aren't all you need, but there is definitely some truth to the saying, it's not what you know, but who you know. I mean, look at Aiden. I think he embodies that principle pretty good. At the same time, it's not just about quantity, but quality of your relationships. So please keep that in mind too. Got it. And lastly, remember, while grades and qualifications are essential, they're not the be-all end-all. Don't ignore your school or your academic career, but do focus on your strengths, your passions, and look where you can add value. So where you can be useful, as you always say? Yes, you're listening. I like that. And also be honest to yourself. Identify and work on your weaknesses. Maybe you are smart, but you waste time on social media, play too many video games, and always want the instant gratification. While he just put himself out there, took action and stick to it. Sorry for insulting you earlier. Nah, it's okay. We're all in this together. Remember, intelligence is just one piece of the puzzle, and it's not going to make or break you. There is more to it. I hope all that made sense. That's all I wanted to say, so have an awesome day, stay useful, and bye. But you have to ask for a like now. No, I won't do that. They will do that themselves if they actually liked it. Okay.